Now, before we begin this video, I'd just like to say I am massively excited for The Last Jedi. Like, I'm counting down the days until its release day. But I'm just going to go over in this video the reasons why I was more excited when Revenge of the Sith was about to come out. And reason one is the fact that Revenge of the Sith had a video game to go with it. Now, basically, this video game had loads of clips from the movie in it. And that's the thing with The Last Jedi, it just has trailers and that's it. But with Revenge of the Sith, you had trailers and like extra clips in the video game as well. So, I mean, plus, that leads me on to reason two, that you had like these Clone Wars cartoons that led directly into episode 3. Which is why I think it's absolutely appalling and disrespectful that they've now made this Clone Wars series non-canon, because it has much more right to be canon than the newer Clone Wars series does. Now, essentially, also, with Revenge of the Sith, you had, like, focus on some of the main characters from the original trilogy. Like Obi-Wan Kenobi, Palpatine, Yoda, and even Anakin, aka Darth Vader. But with The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, you get Luke, Leia, Han, and Chewbacca. But the thing is, there isn't a lot of focus on them. And that is what is wrong with these new Disney films. Because there's more focus on these new characters like Rey, Finn, and Poe. And even that new Rose one that's coming into it. Whereas, if you go back to the prequels, you have loads of focus on Anakin, you have loads of focus on Yoda, you have loads of focus on Palpatine, loads of focus on Obi-Wan. So, I mean, many people would argue, there wasn't enough focus on the other Jedi Knights. Well, that's because they weren't the main characters. Like, if you want more focus on the other Jedi Knights, then just go to, like, the cartoons, because there were more focus on them in the cartoons. But I guess I can understand what people were saying from a certain point of view, because it seems that always the human characters seem to be at the forefront of the Star Wars stories, even though, like, there are alien characters in Star Wars as well. And I think that's because, like, humans are more relatable because they're actually real in real life. Like, you know, I mean, maybe there'll be a live action TV series in the future that will explore the other Jedi more. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. But the point is, like, an Obi-Wan standalone film, like, that could be, like, Disney's least successful Star Wars film to date, because that would remind people too much of the prequels, like if they have Ewan McGregor in it. But don't get me wrong, I'm a massive fan of the prequels. It's just like certain people aren't. That's the thing. So will they actually pay money to go and see this Obi-Wan movie if it actually goes ahead? I don't know what it is, but it seems like the hype was more prominent for Revenge of the Sith than The Last Jedi, because, like, there were more people like talking about it face to face, like with Revenge of the Sith. I mean, like because I guess people were so looking forward to seeing like the suit go on Darth Vader for the first time and such things like that, and like the rise of the Empire and everything else, and Anakin's like fall to the dark side. So yeah, I mean, maybe it's because I'm not in school anymore. Because like when Revenge of the Sith came out, I was still in school. So like maybe like it's because I don't see those people anymore in my day to day life. Like that's why it feels like there's not as many people talking about Star Wars as there used to be. And not only that, you've got to remember back in 2005, Star Wars was more bigger than Marvel. Um, but I don't think that's the case anymore. I mean, when I was a kid, I always dreamt of Marvel becoming more popular, but I never even imagined that it would become more popular than Star Wars. Like, the thought didn't even enter my head. Like, and I don't really like it this way because I want Star Wars to be more popular than Marvel. I want that to be a constant thing. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I really love Marvel and I'm really looking forward to Infinity War, but like, it's just like Disney are making movies that are not as good as the originals and the prequels, and that is one of the main reasons why like people are liking Marvel more now. And it's like I grew up with Star Wars, but I know a few people who didn't, and they seem to be swaying like more and more people like towards Marvel, like even like people who have been die-hard Star Wars fans in the past. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want them to keep making Star Wars content and Star Wars films because otherwise, like, life would be boring. Like, if there was no Star Wars film to look forward to this year, then it would just go back to being like a dismal existence that it was for years and years and years. Like between 2005 and 2015, because you had that massive, huge gap with like with like no Star Wars apart from like um obviously like the Clone Wars movie and the Clone Wars TV series. That was really the only thing. And well, also obviously the Old Republic video game, which is absolutely brilliant. Um, at that point, it was still canon, but it's not anymore because Disney are being greedy cunts. So yeah, I'm just a bit annoyed, to be honest. I mean, like these news stories I'm reading are getting me a bit depressed because it's saying things like, oh, there's going to be no Old Republic trilogy, there's going to be no Old Republic TV series. Well, if that's the case, then they're not listening to the fans, are they? Like, at least, like with Doctor Who, like sometimes they listen to the fans and sometimes they don't. But the point is, Doctor Who listen to their fans more than Star Wars does at the moment. Like, because like at least with Doctor Who, they keep everything canon. Like, I mean, like a lot of people don't want a female Doctor, and a lot of people do. But I mean, so I think Jodie Whittaker will be the worst Doctor, but I'm still going to watch it because it's still Doctor Who at the end of the day. Like, I mean, the only thing that I really approve of about her costume is the bracers because that echoes like Hartnell and Troughton. But yeah, we're not going too much into Doctor Who territory, but I will just say one last thing about it. Like when people ask for certain companions to come back, like Jamie McCrimmon, for example, like it's like Stephen Moffat just doesn't listen to the fans because like Jamie still hasn't come back. So whether Chris Chibnall will actually listen to the fans, well, we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. But there is entirely the possibility that Chris Chibnall will become more hated than Stephen Moffat. That may already be the case. But I guess I can see like where equality comes into it because like for those people who know me, they know that I'm all about equal rights. I'm a bloke who's all about equality. So like you get like women like perving over David Tennant's Doctor because they fancy him and stuff. So now you're going to get like men perving over Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. So that keeps things equal then, doesn't it? For example, the 2003 Clone Wars series introduced Grievous, and I thought that was absolutely brilliant how that was executed. Because, like, when you actually see him in episode 3, you're already familiar with the character. That was absolutely fucking brilliant how that was executed. Now, I wish there was some sort of cartoon that led directly into The Last Jedi. That's what I want. Like, like a new villain to be introduced in that cartoon, and then you see him like in live action form in the Last Jedi movie. That would have been brilliant. But episode 3 was the last of the prequels. Episode 9 is going to be the last of the sequels. So maybe there will be a cartoon or live action series that leads into episode 9. We'll just have to wait and see. But to me, it sounds like this new trilogy and this live action TV series are going to take place after episode 9. Well, even if they don't, they'll probably be made after episode 9. Or alongside it at least. You have other characters like Asajj Ventress, who featured in the Clone Wars cartoon, but she was never actually in the live action movies, which I thought was a bit of a waste of a character, really. But, I mean, leave a comment below with suggestions of who you think could play Asajj Ventress in a live action movie. Like, to be honest, like, the droid invasion of Coruscant, I would love to see that in live action form. I would also love to see Anakin's and Asajj's duel on Yavin 4 in live action form. but those events aren't canon, so